Semi new segment. I want to come out and a lot of times you got to watch games over, think about some things, consider some new things, whatever. But here I am on Monday. I'm back from New York. It was a good time to be away, but it is definitely back. Definitely good to be back with the family. Just some thoughts on the game, just some of the things I feel about it. I think as well as we played um, in moments in Brighton, it's clear that we had to be better. And I think you look at a week where several players were thrown out, red cards. It's getting serious. Premier League is definitely heating up. I mean, you got guys, quote unquote, headbutting people, getting into tussling matches. I mean, all kinds of red cards all over the place. And then we finished it with this United versus Tottenham game. So another week in the books, and we are at the top of the table, which we've seen ourselves there before, and we know what has happened over recent history. So if we want to stay there, we have to not just keep pace with City. We need to be ahead of everyone. We need to just jump out on everyone like City. And I don't know why we can't. Look, City have some favorable matches, but we saw what happened to Wolves. All due respect to Wolves, but City's going to have some tough games. They are. They might not look like it on paper, but they're going to have some tough matchups. And so, but whatever they're doing, we have to make sure we're continuing to pick up points. A few things I want to talk about. One is Sadio Mane, and I love Sadio, and I never want to be harsh on him or anything, but I'm going to speak truths and what I believe to be quite honest truths. And one of those is that Mane needs to be able to take these games by the scruff of the neck and perform. He really does. And I'm not really sure what was going on in that game. I don't really know why he couldn't. Didn't really. He was never really got to a point where he seemed that he can enjoy his football. Not really sure why that happened, but again, it is early stages. It is only the third week, but I want to see more personally from Mane, and I know that we can, and I know that we will. Um, I'm not sure why Naby came off. I think he was one of the bright points in the game to me. Of course, he didn't score a goal or anything like that. What's up, Mercy? But I thought Naby's one of the bright spots. I think for me in games like that when we're seem not to be clicking offensively, we need to bring in Shaqiri early, or bring in Sturridge earlier than when we were bringing him in to give us that spark. Firmino seems like he's been going deeper and deeper every game, which I don't necessarily mind, but it looks to be that he's being pulled away from uh, being more involved in the attacking game. I don't think Mane will be here next year. He seems to be stalling on his new contract. Yeah, I find it interesting when people say he seems to be stalling. There's a lot of things that go towards these negotiations. It's not. I don't know if it's who knows if that's a fact that he's stalling on it. I mean, unless you know something different that I don't know, I don't see it as he's stalling. Yeah, Shakira needs more minutes, man. He needs more minutes. I don't really get why he hasn't become off the bench, especially when we're again kind of struggling offensively. It's a crazy to even say that because you don't really think of Liverpool struggling offensively. But these last two games, we find it hard to come by, and mainly because we are our own worst enemy sometimes. Get into the opposing team's box and not knowing how to string a regular pass or a string of passes together. He's asking for a release clause. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, it does make you wonder why it hasn't happened. Um, Maybe you're right. I find it hard that he doesn't want to be here, or if he doesn't, there's probably again some reasons that we don't know of. I think we all just assume that every player should just sign for Liverpool, forget everything else. But there could be other things in it. We don't know how much he's being offered, and if you're going to quote me papers and stuff, I don't know if all that's ever true. So again, we'll see. Perhaps you're right. I don't know. I find it interesting. That a lot of people. This is not a shot at you, but a lot of people seem to think it's the players a lot of times that are the reason why a contract isn't signed. Um, but I think there can be other things in and around that we may not know about. So, Mommy, what's up, bro? How you doing? Um, but yeah, it's read recently about the I think it's two point something billion um, that we were on the table to sell the club. I shouldn't say on the table. Um, Man United, yeah, on the table. But we did meet with some people in New York over the past couple of years, couple of seasons. and it was something that I feel like the owners were somewhat open to. Didn't happen. But could you imagine that kind of money? Apparently, people who wanted to buy it are related to the city owners somehow. I think they're cousins, something like that. But I mean, that would have been a big move. That would have been a big move to get that kind of investment into the team, that kind of money into the team. And I think it looks like Liverpool were waiting on a manager that they can really invest in and really trust, and they have that. So getting back on what I was talking about. Again, as much as I can complain about how we didn't finish the chances that we should have finished, it's again another game where we were not at our best, and we didn't have to be to win. And that's what you like. That's what you want. It's messed up. It's frustrating. It's irritating because we had so many chances. I want to say it was 8 on target, 22 shots, 70% of the ball. Just got to be a bit better clinical and not be so lazy with the giveaways. And I'm tired of people talking about the World Cup. Man, Spurs have almost a whole roster of players that were on World Cup that went far deeper than most of our players, not including Henderson. But, when people talk about Spurs, they didn't make any signings. But look at that team. You can say Lucas Moura being more a part of the team is almost like a new signing. Alderweireld, he was out for large parts of the season last season. Look at them. They seem to be doing fine. So, there's no excuses, man. There's no excuses. I mean, Henderson's coming off the bench. So most of the guys we got playing didn't go that far in the World Cup. So that to me is not a real excuse. Firmino, okay. But still, I mean, this is what, these guys get paid to do. They know their seasons every 4 years. They have the World Cup. You have that dedication. And then my issue is, the international break yet again is coming up. Again, this is everything that we know. But these international situations really break up a lot of consistency, continuity that you might have built. So it may come at a decent time, though. Maybe some of the guys can get a little bit more rest. Who knows? But I think that it's quite obvious that as good as a keeper as Alisson is, as good as our defense seems to be gelling and being good, and obviously you can see that we don't have to smash teams. Maybe we can beat a team 2-0, 1-0, and be somewhat convincing with that. Sure, and I say somewhat because there are moments in both of those games, Palace and Brighton, where it was almost let's get nervous collectively time. So again, that's my motto for this kind of review after the game is that we need to be more consistent. We need to be improving and not being lazy with passes. That kills me. All game we just kept giving the ball away right back to them. And again, if we're playing a better team, and that's Palace and Brighton game, we may get punished for that. Just careless, and it almost feels like anytime there's a chance for us to take advantage of City or any top team who's dropped points, it's like there's this nervousness that sets in, and not to say we don't believe in ourselves, but it's just it's really strange, man. It's really strange. I feel like if City would have won that game, the score against the Brighton team would have been a higher margin, if that makes sense. But I am proud of this team. I'm really proud to see that we're doing things this season that we weren't able to do last season. And this is early to see this. That's a really good sign. And again, it comes down to you got a top keeper. And I said it before. He's a bit of a maverick, and I think he's going to continue to do that. He's going to continue to cause people little minor heart attacks, I should say. That's who he is. At the end of the day, he's a Brazilian football player. And Klopp's talked about it a lot. He's not just a keeper. He's a football player who happens to be a keeper. That's the position he chose, grew up playing or whatever. He became a keeper. But you can tell he's got skills, the confidence that he has. And I said this before about even Van Dijk. That calmness is good. That confidence and kind of like, he's very just kind of elegant with the ball. That's very cool and cute. But there's certain moments where that can really cost you. So at some point, obviously he trusts in his abilities. And I think that's a great thing to have any player for Liverpool Football Club, specifically a goalkeeper, because Karius was not the token of confidence. He never was, especially not after what happened in Kiev. So to have that, beautiful, great. Kind of, turn the notch down a little bit, man. Turn the volume down slightly. Van Dijk pisses you off sometimes, Mercy says. Oh, you mean because he's kind of so lax with it? Yeah, he has his moments of it, and so does Alisson. Look, at the end of the day, they're both colossal players for us, and they're going to prove to be that over this whole season. I mean, Ali Son has already done that. So has Van Dijk to a degree. I think Van Dijk had some minor moments in the last game against Brighton that, luckily the other team didn't make us pay. Gomez as well. But again, it's a long season. It's 3 days in it. We've had 3 weeks in the football season. It's still a young season. It's still a young season. A lot to learn, a lot to improve, but a lot more beautiful things I think are in store for us to see of this football team. I really do. I really believe that. And again, with Naby, I mean, he still has not even really shown who Naby is. He hasn't. Believe that. And once he gets into a rhythm, he's comfortable living in Liverpool. Apparently, he's very quiet in the camp, and he doesn't really talk much unless it's Sadio. But once he gets more comfortable with that and his role and just everything that comes with that, I think we're going to see a really, really special player. Man City goal in the Champions League. He takes so much time to play. Yeah, he did that. He let Sterling kind of muscle him off the sideline right there. It was crazy. I remember that happening. I remember being pissed off about that. And I think people kind of thought I was being harsh, but I mean, it's true. I mean, you can be as calm as you need to be, but if you're going to be that calm, then you need to make sure you're doing things the right way. And so if you're not going to be doing that, you got to figure out a way to do it. Because now, again, and I say that, but it's not like something he's going to be doing that. He's not going to make those mistakes every single game. But he'll have those moments where you're thinking, oh, whoa, you're a little too lazy on, I don't say lazy, but just too kind of like casual. I said that probably 20 times when I was watching the game at the bar. Because we were being too casual with passes, too just comfortable. And, you can't be doing that, against any team. Doesn't matter who it is. I mean, you definitely can't do that. And that's the thing. I feel like these players, it's almost like they're at a point now where they feel like we hear it, we've heard it, we know what it is. Our only rival is City. This should be our league. So when it comes to the big teams, we'll turn it up a notch. Some of these lower teams will do enough to get by. It's like me in high school. I did enough to get a passing grade. If it was a C for the quarter, I was doing that. Okay, that was just me. Like, Liverpool is just trying to get to graduation. Doesn't matter how they get there. They just want to get the graduation. And hopefully graduation this season is a championship trophy, a league trophy, a title. And the English Premier League, hopefully that's what we're doing. So, again, I mean, if we're winning games like this, getting clean sheets, however nervous it could be, as long as we're getting these wins, I don't really care. A lot of people are saying Chelsea will challenge us. We'll see. We'll see. I still think the biggest challenge is City. That's just me. I mean, Chelsea's going to be, they look like they're going to be decent this year. And sure, maybe they can challenge us. Maybe those will be the top 3 teams that people are looking at. But I think people are sleeping on Tottenham. I think, in my opinion, Tottenham have looked far better than Chelsea have in these first 3 games. In my opinion, they've looked far better. Defensively, offensively, scoring. They just look a cleaner outfit to me. But that's me. I don't know. I mean, I think their defense is definitely better. The midfield, you can rival that. I mean, any midfield with Conte, most likely you're going to say is better for him alone. The forward players, you kind of can take your pick on that. I think Harry Kane is better than any solo striker they have on that team. So, I mean, to me, they're the better team. I think the manager that Tottenham have is better, personally. So, I don't know. I mean, people keep talking about Chelsea. They're the hot new team, kind of with this new coach and gotten a couple of new players or whatever. But, I mean, they're pretty much the same team that they were last season. And so we'll see if the manager will make that big of a difference. I don't think it will, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, just proud of the guys, man. Really. That's really where I'm coming from. It, although I'm disappointed in some aspects of the game, you got to be happy. The team knows what they can do going forward. They just are getting stronger defensively and mentally. Everything will be fine. Yeah, and I kind of agree with that, Mame, and I hope that's the case. Defensively, and if we're winning games and we don't look our Fab 3 or Fab 4, what Naby, whatever you want to call it, aren't putting the goals in, then I'm fine with that, because it means that our defense is improving and we are showing that we can get through these games, even if it's not pretty. So Chelsea's defense is weak and attack isn't great. Don't see the hype around them. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, Dom. I mean, there's a lot of hype around Chelsea. Drifty from the Football Banter Show thinks they're going to be a big hit. HH, a lot of people do it. And listen, they might. And, if that's the case, I'll eat my words. But just because they have 3 wins, Watford has 3 wins. Are we ready to say that they're going to challenge for anything? No, I'm not going to let's get it twisted. in reality. But Bournemouth is also undefeated. You know what I mean? So I don't really see much. Again, it's still early. It's still early, and we don't really know much of what's going to happen this season. I think most people can say that City will be one of the top teams, you know, and trying hard to definitely regain or you know get that back-to-back title situation happening. And it's our job and other teams, but mainly I'm focused on Liverpool. It's our job to put a book into that, you know what I mean, and not allow them that. So again, when they drop points, it's big for us. And although this is early, this win, these last two wins, however they went, at the end of the season, if we're holding up the cup, we're going to think about these games, and we're going to think about how we were able to pull them out, and how we did it, and that's going to be something that we're going to be really happy thinking about as the season goes on. 90 possession against Newcastle and 1-2 on Newcastle had 8%. I didn't know that. Wow, Dominic, nice stat. 92, 82, 82. Okay, still, Chelsea were 8 points off first place at one point in 2016 and still won the league. Yeah, but that was some time ago. But I hear what you're saying, though. Is this a new subscriber? What? We play Spurs away soon. That's interesting. Very, very interesting game. Yeah. No, I mean, that's going to be our first big test, you know. And although Leicester don't have Vardy for the game, which, again, I'm not going to get too much into the Leicester game, but because you brought that up, it made me think of goalkeepers that we face. I think Brighton have a pretty decent goalkeeper. And he showed that in large periods of that match. Especially, I mean, that save for Firmino's goal, or what should have been a goal, amazing save. I mean, just fingertip, swatted it away. You can't see Spurs troubling us, says Dom. Yeah, we will see. But I think the Leicester game, no Vardy, because if he did play, honestly, he does so well against. I probably would have said 3-1 or 2-1. Because he seems to always get a goal, whether it's a worldie or a right place, right time, chip in. He always seems to score against us. That was a great save. Yeah, it was a fantastic save. Is Mignolet leaving? I'm not really sure. That's kind of the rumors that I've been hearing, reading. To me, it wouldn't really matter one way or another, to be honest. I don't mind him as backup, but I'm not, like, desperate to keep him or anything like that. So if he wants to leave and he gets his right to leave, then, hey, more power to him. But yeah, and then Kasper Schmeichel is another decent keeper, and apparently Maguire is an amazing young English defender. So we'll see about that. But again, Leicester to me is a game that they pretty much lost all of their players that helped them win that final, besides Vardy, obviously. So if Mignolet leaves, who's second choice? I don't even know who's still in the books. Grabala, whatever his name is, and I don't know who else. That's a good question. No, I mean, again, I'd probably prefer him, but if he wants to leave that bad and the team are okay with letting him go, then it's not a big deal to me. You know what I mean? If they see something that I don't know about, or one of the young, I don't know. My thing is that it's Mignolet. It's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. We do need a backup goalkeeper. He's probably our best one on the books. Karius is gone, so you probably want to keep him around, but I'm just not going to be bent out of shape one way or another. That's just how I feel about it. You know, hopefully Allison can stay healthy for much of the season. But yeah, I mean, cup competitions, maybe the one-off in the Champions League, depending on who we're playing and where our place is and how we've been doing. Maybe even in the league. You never know. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Mignolet. But Kasper Schmeichel's a decent keeper, so Leicester might be to cause us some trouble. But again, I think that's a game that we should definitely be able to handle well. And like I said, I'll get into that a little deeper as time goes on. But Spurs, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't think Spurs can hurt us, because obviously they can. I think any team can hurt you in the league, especially if you allow them to, and you don't enjoy your football and take advantage of what you're doing. You know, get yours first. You know, that's my motto for this Liverpool team. Get yours first. Get your goals early when you can get them, when they're presented. When you get yours first, okay? And then if you want to let them enjoy some of their football a little bit or whatever, that's cool. I'm not saying let them score, but you got to get yours first. You got to get your goals when you make those chances and you're that close. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 chances, people. You got to convert half of those. You have to. You have to, because it can come back to haunt you. And again, it seems like we have a team that we might not have. I got to be proven this first. Liverpool still need to prove this to me. It's been 2 games where it got kind of nervy in moments, and we got out of trouble. But I'm still not sure if I can totally trust that we're over that hump. So there'll be games like that again, and we'll see how we pull out of it. But this Leicester game, I look to see us getting back to our scoring ways fluidly, and just enjoying our football. Really, honestly, that's how I feel. So we'll see. That's about it for me today, man. Maybe back on tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But if not, it'll be somewhere between now and the Leicester game. So hope everybody enjoys their week, and I will see you guys soon.